12 spiritual meanings of being trapped in a dream and trying to escape. Trapped in a dream. Trapped in life. The power of the subconscious is no longer a myth. What we repress, ignore, or carelessly push aside during the day often catches up with us in our sleep. Our dreams are mirrors of our fears, wishes, and desires. Not every dream has to contain a message, but it is usually worth questioning its imagery. Today, we would like to look at one of the most oppressive and terrifying dream sequences of all, being trapped. The spiritual world has 12 common interpretations that we would like to share with you. 1. No one understands you. Being trapped in a dream can sometimes be an indication that you are surrounding yourself with the wrong people during the day. If you constantly feel like you are running into walls and are not being understood or listened to, the corset of everyday life can quickly become too tight. The question is whether people can't understand you or don't want to. 2. You are in the wrong place at the wrong time. Sometimes life takes us on a few involuntary detours that we hadn't ordered. Such phases of disorientation are often reflected in dreams that oppress us, imprison us, or rob us of the air we need to breathe. If your subconscious is so resistant to this, make your current location a transit only. 3. What you call your life is just a facade. A prison in a dream can sometimes also indicate more serious problems in everyday life. For example, if people have become accustomed over the years to pretending to their surroundings and maintaining the facade of an ideal world at all costs, this can manifest itself in bad dream images that tell of deprivation of freedom and paternalism. 4. Your body and you. You are on the warpath. Our body is the temple and home of our soul. If we are at odds with it or dissatisfied with our appearance, our subconscious rebels in our sleep. It puts up a determined fight. Not against our body, however, but against the fact that we cannot make peace with it. 5. You have neglected yourself for too long. Dark dream images that tell of imprisonment and dungeons and degrade us to helpless victims are often an indication that we have neglected our own needs. Those who are only ever there for others actually lock themselves in a golden cage over time, which can then take on unsightly forms in their sleep. 6. Everyone pulls and tugs at you. The kind-hearted among us in particular sometimes suffer from their obligingness, and not just during the day. Being trapped in a dungeon at night or locked in a tight box can also mean that far too many people are exerting power and pressure on you. Everyone wants something from you, and it's not for your own good. 7. Your family and/or relationship is your world. This interpretation of the prison dream can be good or bad. Often, however, people dream of oppression and imprisonment who have dedicated their lives 100% to serving their loved ones. They live only for their children or partners. Their needs are satisfied when those of their loved ones are too. 8. You feel trapped in your partnership. Relationships can be heaven on earth, but unfortunately sometimes they can also be hell. Many people close their eyes to this downward trend for a long time and refuse to admit that their relationships are failing. As a result, our dream world suggests that we are maneuvering ourselves into a prison. 9. Your relationships demand too much of you. Things don't have to get that bad on the love front for us to feel like prisoners and oppressed in our dreams. Sometimes the relationship work is just too much for us and demands more than we get back. Especially people who have to manage their relationships on their own or think they have to, suffer at night from the horror scenario of being deprived of their freedom. 10. Your job is more important than you think. One of the nicer sides of the nocturnal prisoner's dilemma is the realization that you are important and needed. Sometimes we see ourselves locked in a dream and chained up when we feel too morally obligated during the day. If many people are dependent on us, it can unconsciously feel like a prison without walls. If we fail or drop out, this would have unpleasant consequences for many people around us. Searching for meaning, professionally and privately. It is not so rare in life that it is high time for a reorientation. However, our comfort and our habitual nature mean that for a long time we overlook the signs that tell us to move on. For our subconscious, however, such private and professional dead ends quickly feel like a glass chamber from which there is no easy escape. Although we can see where the path could lead us, we close ourselves off to the possibility of actually going down it. Those who have lost their fire and only exist instead of living soon become prisoners of their own inactivity. 12. Professionally, you have reached the glass ceiling. It's not just our private boundaries that show us our dreams clearly and very realistically, but also our professional ones. People for whom a steep, promising career is important are not happy to settle for the role of a small cog in the wheel. They suffer from failures and long, dry spells. It can take a long time for them to see through the mechanisms and rope teams at work that prevent them from progressing. Have the courage to break free. If you regularly dream of being locked up, trapped, or chained somewhere, you should urgently listen to this message from your subconscious. Some area of your life is really missing out. The longing for freedom is deeply rooted in us humans. If it is taken away, curtailed, or denied, our innermost being rebels violently against it. Only those who can lead a beautiful life that is in harmony with their desires, passions, and talents have beautiful dreams. However, if your dream world is calling you to arms, it is high time to devote yourself to at least one theater of war in the real world that you have been suppressing.